G'day everyone, my name is Robbie from Griffin Family Adventures, and today I'm going to show you our camp trailer. So this is the 2021 Lumberjack Sorrento. Had this for a few years. This is a pod style camper. Obviously got a few different types of campers on the market. You've got forward fold, rear fold, soft tops, you've got teardrops, all these different types. So this is a pod camper. So what's good about these ones is it's basically got all the conveniences of a caravan, except it's a lot shorter, weighs a lot less, easy to tow, four-wheel drive mode, off-road, that kind of stuff. And the best thing is, you can set up as much or as little as you want. So if you, let's say if you've been driving all day, you pull into camp late, you don't want to set up everything, you know, most people have to unfold their things and this and that. This one here, you can literally just pull up, open the door, and you've got a queen bed ready to go. I'm going to talk about that a little bit later. As you can see, there's a bit of stuff in there at the moment, kids' things. We're traveling, me and my wife and my two children. So I've done a few modifications to this camper as well. So if you actually do have this camper, or if you know, you're looking at some of the mods, or you're interested in buying something like this, I can sort of show you around and what I've done and how to make this into what I've created today. So inside it can actually fit about 4 people. So it's a queen bed, but it's got a roughly a king width about it. It's got these sort of inserts. So me and my wife and the 2 kids could sleep, I wouldn't say comfortably, but fair enough. Because you obviously, with the king bed at home, you couldn't really fit 4 people in it, but because you are against the wall, you could actually get an extra bit of space. So it does actually work quite fine. But because we're doing bush camping, I've also got a rooftop tent, and I'm gonna be sleeping in that tonight. I call it the penthouse. Eventually the kids will get up there and they call it the playroom or whatever, but at the moment, if you get all 4 of us in the actual camper itself, it can be quite hot. So I like to set this up when we go bush camping and stuff. So at the moment we're actually camping in Blanco Falls. We just pulled up, I've just disconnected the car. So let's just start setting this camper up. So to set the rooftop, I usually set the rooftop up first. You can use, I've got a ladder here, you can go around and undo all the hinges on it, but I'm just gonna literally walk up the camper and do it on top. It's just so much faster, much easier. So this rooftop, actually a pretty popular one. I got this from Anaconda. It's just it's basically a pop top, hard top rooftop camper. Very, very popular. I think the best part about them is just so fast and convenient to set up. I've actually installed a solar panel on this one as well. So get the fridges and stuff and everything else charging. Got a couple of AGM batteries back there as well, which I'll show you a little bit later as well. The solar panel was actually a bit of a pain to set up. As I'll show you in a second the way this rooftop opens up, and I want to make this solar panel fixed mounted. So basically you don't have to plug and unplug every single time. Done by me, just jumping in. And I'll pop it up. And that's it. That's the rooftop set up. Now moving along, we're going to open up the awning now. The good thing about this camper as well, so me and my wife, when we go camping, it takes us, I do all this solo. I don't actually wait for my wife to help with anything like that. And it is a bit difficult, especially if you've got kids and things like that, because if you go to places and you're trying to set up things and the kids are around, they're grabbing things, it could just be a bit of a more pain than it's worth. So I made especially that everything I do, I can do solo, which is also good if you're a solo traveler or whatever, so you don't have to rely on people to set up awnings and things like that. What I'm unpacking here is the Bushwhacker awning. This actually, they had an awning come with this camper, but I've actually changed to this one. This one's faster and bigger and less mucking around to set up. Big shout out to Bushwhacker, really good quality products. This is the second one I've had. The first one was actually a little bit smaller than this, but I decided that I wanted this extra part at the front here. They actually make really big awnings that go around the whole campers and stuff, and they're so fast, so easy to set up. As you can see, I'm already halfway through it, it's only been like 10 seconds or something. And easy to put away as well. Very, very fast to put away. Just come around here like that. Of course, my ropes are all tangled up, aren't they? That's just how you do things when you're camping, right? So that's the awning all set up now. That simple. Moving around, next we're going to set up the shower tent. So This camper has a swing out wheel on it, and what I did, I actually installed these couple of bars here and put the shower tent on there. Now I've seen a few different campers put, like the Sorrento models, put the tents in different areas. From the factory, they wanted you to set up this sort of separate thing. I didn't like that. Like I said, I want to make things nice and easy, convenient, things that are attached. I want to make sure that I can load up and go and not have to sort of set all these little things up all over the place. Besides my camp chairs, that's about it. So I made this shower tent, and it's what I like about it too. So this is my second one I've had. The first one I got was actually from Kick-Ass shower tents it was, which is okay, but the problem is they had no roof on it. And what would happen is that we went to a few sites, and if it was raining or something overnight, my missus really didn't like it because in the morning when she went to use the toilet was all wet, and yeah, that was a big problem for her. So obviously it became a big problem for me, as it happens. And also there was a site we went to where people could actually look down into our shower tent, so not much privacy whatsoever. So this one's pretty good. It's got all the bells and whistles of the roof. It's got LED lights and all that kind of stuff. And as you can see, it sets up pretty quick. I think there's some even new models in the market now that goes even faster. I'm still pretty happy with this one, but you know, you're always chopping and changing things to make life convenient for yourself. So there's the shower tent set up. All right, next, moving on. Get to show you the kitchen gallery. So once again, another good thing about this camper is that when you go somewhere, you can, if you, let's say you go to a caravan park and they've already got toilets, things like that, you'd have to set any of that stuff up, but you probably want to do a bit of cooking and things like that. This is good because this has pretty much a whole kitchen ready to go. Water taps, everything like that. So look at that, beautiful. Nice big kitchen. Now showing you around the kitchen, I think the new models actually have a door which actually opens up like so. This has got the swing out style. They originally went from the open up style, like the wing style, to the swing style, back to the wing style. I'm not sure, heard different things. I prefer this one because you've got more storage. There's not much storage in the kitchen, and especially with kitchens, it's all about having a lot of storage. So walking around, so like up here I keep all my sort of dry foods, things like that. Got all your cleaning things. This is the control panel, we'll talk about that a bit later. And we also got just some cooking gear, things like that up there. Pots and pans. Over here you got some cups, coffee, and got this is just a thing where I keep my cutlery and things, bits and pieces like that. And if you notice as well, I've actually put a couple of gas struts on these ones. It did come with this little sort of thing before, and I've upgraded it, so that's much more convenient, much better. Bowls, plates, things like that. As you can see, full size sink. We're going camping for 3 days, hence why there's a bit of food back here, bread and bits and pieces. Now walking around the control panel, so you can individually turn off bits and pieces. It's got 2 water tanks. I believe it's 85 and a 45 litre tank. I keep getting confused, so I actually numbered them what's what. So as well, that one tank is dedicated for cold water and one tank is effectively dedicated for hot water. I've made it override so I can actually bring cold water out of the hot tap if I don't want to set the hot water system up. So I'll just show you how these taps work. Look, very convenient, you know, just. And moving down here, the way that this is set up, which is I think is really terrible at the factory, the water will go into the drain, and then you have to open up this rear panel down here, and you have to open up a hose to let the water out. I didn't like that because what happened and a fair few times was that when we were going places, people would just go wash their hands in the sink, not knowing to open this. And this is also where they keep the batteries. And I got my charger down here as well. So what was happening, water was actually going straight into this station. So I've actually made a reroute, and I've made an exit hole just over here. Now it's why I'm sort of moved it that way for a couple of reasons. One, I want to try and get my passenger side of the camper is where we sit and we entertain. My right side is less. So by moving it sort of further away, and on top of that, I've just got a little extension hose here, which easily just pushes in there. I can run this about 6-7 meters away from the campsite. Another little weird thing they did as well. So they had 2 batteries in there, but the way to charge the batteries was you had to actually put up a separate charger into it each time. Now this has actually got 240 volt power coming to this camper. It only does a few things. It does a couple of power points. You've got one down here in the kitchen, you've got one at the front. I made it so there's not only the power points here at the front, I installed another power point down here underneath and hooked it straight into a charger, which is straight to the battery. So now every time you plug into mains, you're charging everything up all in one go, not mucking around trying to put these different cables and things like that. Much more convenient. There's also a bit of storage in here. I just kept some spare cables, spare power leads and water hoses, etc. So that's the kitchen all set up. So we've already done the rooftop tent. We've got the awning, the shower tent set up, nearly set up. Kitchen, moving along to the cooker. So this cooker here is actually the one that comes from the factory. It does come with this other model. What was happening is during COVID when I bought this, there was a huge hold up on this particular cooker, and they're actually holding up for me for collecting the camper itself. And I asked them, I said, well, what's going on? They said, oh, we're just waiting for the cooker to come in. I said, well, can I at least get the camper right now, because I'm sort of waiting around for this camper to come in and you're just waiting for one piece. So they offered me a few different options. They said you can either, we'll send a brand new cooker up to you and we'll get a local guy to install it for you, or we can just give you like a Weber or something. I'm like, I'll just take the Weber. That gave me the opportunity to make something a bit more custom. So I found this on one of the, I think it was through eBay or one of those places like that. And what's good about this one is it's an extending bench as well. So it just gives you that bit more space if you're doing some cooking. You know, you always need more bench space. You got pots and pans and other bits and pieces everywhere. As you can see here as well, there was a pole I just put down on here, just a support pole. These chains here didn't exist when I bought this. Every time you'd open this, it would fling out and almost fall on the ground. I didn't like that. I like the idea of having a bit more suspension, and so I've installed these points here with the chains, also adjustable as well, in case you're a little bit off slope or something like that. Besides that, that's the cooker. It's good to go now. So it's copped a bit of a hard life, this one, I'm not going to lie. We've had plenty of meals and stuff on it. It's probably actually due for a bit of an upgrade, but it seems to be holding up pretty well at the moment. And the gas pipe, they've actually conveniently put a little gas mount down the bottom here. Don't mind all the dirt. Like I said, we're going camping at the moment and it's absolutely filthy and disgusting around here. We've had, we're going through puddles and cow dung and everything. So that's, oh, there we go. That's all good to go. All right, moving on to the next part. So at the front here, you notice there's a couple of boxes up here. They didn't come with that. It was basically just a flat tray. And to utilize a spot up here, I wasn't really too sure what to do about that. And in the end, I came across just a couple of boxes. I thought this is convenient. What it allows me to do, I can store some firewood in here, a bit extra firewood there, got some kids' toys in there. And there's also a little spot here, which I generally sort of throw out garbage. So just as we're leaving the campsite, the garbage actually sits in there perfectly. And that way it's not in the car, it's not in the camper, it's not sneaking up anything. And it sits there quite perfectly. I'm actually pretty happy with that. So these boxes are pretty good. Like I said, full of campfire wood, fire starters, bits and pieces in there. Empty beer can, not sure why it's in there, but anyway. And you'll notice this big box over here as well. So this big box, you can literally fit, this is where I keep all our hardware and gear. So on this side over here, we got a little, I think it's a 45 litre fridge and our generator. So this is a good spot where we keep all our food, not just our cooking food. And having this generator here, like you can actually fit a 95 litre fridge in here, no worries. We decided to go with the fridge and the generator. I had to get a special fridge just to make sure the generator fit in there. Obviously there's some spots we go that are fairly remote, and living in North Queensland, it can get very, very hot up here. So we've actually used the generator at least probably a dozen times just to run the aircon at night and that kind of stuff. And that's another thing I'll talk about later is the aircon. I'll just pop out the little mat here while I'm here. So this is a little, if you haven't used these little mats, very, very handy. Keeps so much dirt out. The step off. These actual steps, so they're supposed to just spring out, and we've got the springs there still, but what happened was, After the first probably year, all the springs just rusted out. So I've changed the springs, but just as a precaution, especially doing a lot of forward driving, I've just put a little strap over here just to help with a bit of security. And that's been fine actually, so that's been helping it really a lot. So that's that set up. Now moving along, you got your 2 gas bottles at the front here. They come with the gas bottle holders, a couple of jerry can holders. I've just got water in mine. You can put fuel or whatever you want to do. You've probably noticed these pegs up here. These are actually where I held the Max tracks. Because we just put up to the side and it's a bit bit slopey. I've taken the Max tracks off and actually put them under the wheel over here. So that's good. So instead of buying those sort of things where you've got those self-leveling caravan holders, the Max tracks do the job. So not only you can use them if you're stuck in a bog or something, but also you can use it to lift the camper. So it makes sense just to have them handy. At the front here, got a little storage box. Now this didn't come with this. This actually was just all open. Now what I found was there's a lot of, as anyone who's got campers and stuff would know, that you're always going to have bits and pieces. Like you're going to have little extra ropes and stands and whatever. I just wanted a place to put all the hardware. I installed this box. It's great because even when you're tickling the car on a 90-degree angle or something, it doesn't touch, it doesn't hit. Perfect little spot to keep all those bits and pieces. So yeah, I've got like just hoses and pegs and stuff, little shower in there. So that's just all the bits of hardware stuff you need. Very dusty where we come today. Moving along, DO35 hitch. It came with a poly block previously. Wasn't happy with that. I've seen actually a few issues with poly blocks. I didn't have an issue, luckily. I just upgraded straight to the DO35. Really good hitch, you should look into it. The jockey wheel as well, it came with a very, very basic jockey wheel, like a one rated for like a little boat or something. I've upgraded that. I've actually seen a couple of jockey wheels on these campers break. So if you do have one, make sure you upgrade that immediately. And over here, this is the water system, just to show you. So, like I said, there's 2 tanks, one for cold, one for hot. We're gonna plug the hot water system in a second. But what I've done, they expect you I put these taps on here. This is the cold water coming, and this is the hot water going. I've actually made this a system so you can do a few different things here. You can use the water at the front of the camper. You can reroute that water so it goes back through this connector here, so you can use the same water again, or you can put the hot water system in, which I'm about to do right now as well on this side. So moving over here, that is our little King's hot water system. This is all our storage of our stuff that we use when we camp, and so like the toilet, everything else. So hook the hot water system up. Now, the only reason why I haven't fixed mounted this is for a couple of reasons. Because this is a heating cooker, a water heater, it actually has a flame in it, so it needs to be actually open to the elements. Otherwise, if you put it in somewhere closed, it's actually cause yourself serious problems or danger. It could bloody explode on you, so you don't want any of that stuff. So I've mounted on the side here, so basically I can sort of swing it open and hook it up pretty easily. And I'll show you how quickly it hooks up. So just throw the gas on. And if you ever hooked up a hot water system like a J cooler or whatever, that's pretty much the same thing. I've just done a bit of a system where it's nice and easy for me. I've got my little hose here. I did have try different hoses. In the end, the garden hose worked the best. So I put the cold in, the hot in. Just gonna feed that under there, so it's tucked out of the way. And gonna go the hot and the cold. And I'll move my taps around, like so. And if you hear that, you can actually hear the water heating up right now, and it's actually working. I must have left the tap on at the back there. I'm gonna go check that quickly. Actually, no, now it's turned off again. Doesn't matter. All right, so let's set up the rest of the bathroom now. So I said, all this box here, I keep all the extra storage gear. There's just toilet and rags and other bits and pieces. So this is going to be our shower toilet floor. You can buy shower and toilet floors from the companies, but they basically just plastic bags you stick on the ground. Now I didn't want that. I wanted something to elevate me off the ground a bit, at the same time water to get underneath and out. I found these off a camping site, and all I did was throw some key rings around it to keep them together. So it's easy to set up in a grid. They do click in apparently somehow, but as soon as you have unlevel ground, they don't work. So just throw them on the ground like that. And it's a good thing as well, it's pretty much the exact same size as the shower tent. Now we set the toilet up, or as I call it, the golden throne, maybe the brown throne, something like that, you know. I was actually very against having this the first time because I did not want the idea of changing a toilet. My wife convinced me otherwise, and it's actually a really good thing. So it's better than trying to walk through the bush with a shovel and a toilet roll and watching out for snakes. So I'll throw that in there. Let's have a bit of a look in here. You can see it's quite roomy. Heaps of room in here. I'm going to throw the roof over. These things are pretty self-explanatory. If you ever seen a shower tent or whatever, they're pretty straightforward to use, and there's little hooks and stuff in here and etc. I'll put some pegs in that a bit later. And last few things to set up. Let's throw this back in there. Just got our table. Always open from the wrong side, it's just how you do it. Beautiful. All right, so we're pretty much all set up now. It generally takes me about 5-10 minutes to do this, maybe even 15. I might put some walls up. I actually got, like the other packs over there, I've actually got walls for this. I may or might not put walls up actually. I am here for a few days, or see how I feel after a beer. So that means it's probably not gonna happen. So we'll go inside here. Let's have a look at the look inside the camper. So each door's got you got windows and fire screens. You can see there's a TV up at the wall there. So it actually came originally with this little 19-inch TV. You had to manually hook up every time. We've changed it. I think that's a 32-inch now. Has a lock-in bracket. Up the top there, you can see there's a couple of cupboards up there. That's actually where we keep our clothes. We got baskets for our clothes. On the left there's another little cupboard. We've got some books and other bits and pieces in there, toiletries, that kind of stuff. And every side as well have pockets. So you can see there's sort of some kids' clothes, cables, that kind of stuff in there. Besides that, it's pretty comfortable in there. I've got a mattress stopper on the top of this top of the mattress here. The bed it comes with can be a little bit solid. So I actually got myself a copper mattress gel topper to put on not only that bed, but also the bed upstairs, and it actually changes the way we sleep. Other thing I want to point out actually as well, so you'll notice the air conditioning. So originally it actually came with just a little fan, and it was an extraction fan. It sort of kind of did the job, but it was pretty basic. And what was happening was, yeah, we were going to places and we wanted aircon, so we actually ended up installing aircon on this camper. It's been very, very, very good, but obviously because we're free camping now, we can't use it. But honestly, it's been a bit of a game changer, especially if we just go to a place where a caravan park, we can hook in, have a comfortable night's sleep. And honestly, it was a couple of grand, but I mean, you spend all this money on the car and the camp trailer and this kind of stuff, but you know, to sleep in comfort, honestly, it's worth every single dollar. I probably should mention as well, so under the bed, there's actually some more storage under here. So we're actually going around the other side. I'll just close this. So as you can see, it's got separate independent doors, it's got fly screen. We'll open up the other side and show you the under the bed. All these doors lock in as well, so you can literally just clip them in, kind of like your truck doors. And like I said, there's a bed, so like I said, it's a queen bed, but it's got these sort of cushions on the side, so it actually makes it the width of a king. So plenty of room in here. And so under the bed as well, there is actually additional storage. So there's actually four boxes like underneath. 2 are easy accessible, the other 2 are actually quite hard. You have to sort of hold the mattress up, etc. It is good in case you got like extra things, like for instance, like if we're going for a very, very long camp for like a week or 2, we'll throw some extra food and stuff under there, just because it is hard to get to. You only want to get there once or twice, you know, in a trip. I've got current extra bedding in there, just in case one of the kids have an accident or something like that. As you can see here as well, this is the side storage. I put a little latch on there, And I've also put a gas strut on there to help assist lifting it up. And there goes the water bottle. And there, that's just the toilet paper and extra rugs and bits and pieces there. So, and I actually made this little stick the other day, even though that the gas strut's helping. I actually just got this little stick the other day just to help hold it up when I'm trying to do things in there. Because it is a lot of weight. You're obviously holding the mattress and the copper and everything else sitting on top of the bed. Do all of that. All right, so we're all set up now. Last few things I had to do was put a few pegs down and secure a few things. Set the rest of the shower up. I had to just put the shower head on there, and also just end up putting a mat down as well. It's a bit sandy around this area, but as you can see, that's pretty much the camper. A lot of these things are it's a very quick setup overall. Like I said, generally it takes me about between 5 and 10 minutes to do a full setup, 15 minutes including sort of walking around, just doing the final little touches like putting floor mats down and things like that. So that's the 2021 Lumberjack Sorrento. If you've got any questions or any inquiries, feel free to reach out. I'll try my best to answer anything that needs to be answered. And if you have got the camper and you're interested in about some of the modifications as well, feel free to ask, and I'm happy to share my knowledge. Anyway, that's like I said, I'm Robbie from Griffin Family Adventures, and I hope you enjoyed this video. As always, like and subscribe. This is something I really want to get into. As you can see, it's very amateur at the moment, but you know, hopefully in the future I'll get a little bit better. Anyway, cheers.